Alright, here we go. Garen and Lux. Okay, so in current lore, I believe, so like DEMACIA, like I saw in the video about Riot's MMO, DEMACIA in current lore is in the middle of what do you call it? Civil warfare, whatever. What do you call it? Jesus Christ, I can't even find the word. Wow, man, early mornings suck. They have a civil war. Literally, that's what. Oh my god, so dumb. They have a civil war. They hate mages. Lux is a mage. Garen is not. Garen wants her to marry Prince Jarvan so he can protect her, which is weird because if he's the prince and the country by default hates mages, wouldn't Jarvan also hate mages, or he would support hating mages? And if he didn't want to hate mages, wouldn't he try to change his country to not hate mages? I don't know. I'm sure like it can go like into bigger detail, like oh his hands are tied and shit, but like
welcome ladies and gentlemen, it is Targran and I've brought yet another League of Legends video to you. Without any further ado, I present to you the lore of Garen Crownguard, the Might of DEMACIA, and his younger sister, Luxana, the Lady of Luminosity.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Luxana. Just had to go
For
all
every
official.
single citizen of DEMACIA serving in the military forces is a great honor. Even in an era of League of Legends, the army of DEMACIA has its hands full of work in order to keep Noxus's evil plans in check.
Evil plans.
The resolve of their army is either praised or despised, but always respected. No one could be bold or foolish enough to disrespect the DEMACIan legions. DEMACIans believe that serving in an army is a great way to fulfill your own purpose in life, training your body in order for it to be ready for war.
They brainwash their kids. I already did a workout. Yeah, they're brainwashing their kids to believe that dying for your country is the noble thing to do, which is fine, I guess. I mean, it's kind of like what you want your people to love their country so much, but at the same time, they are brainwashed.
Training your mind in order to kill fear in oneself. It is all great and honorable thing to do. Even the king himself had sent his son for the military training at a young age. There is the regular service in the army, common amongst men and women of DEMACIA alike. There are, however, examples of complete sacrificing oneself to the army. It is rare but highly valued by every man and woman of DEMACIA. A great example of that would be the Crownguard family.
What used to be?
There is no
Oh, noble die for a country? Yeah. No, I agree. Depending on country. I mean, well, like the whole dying for a country, I understand it, especially before like globalization. Now it's like a bit more iffy, but like before that, it's like this is a country where you were born, you were raised. It's like you are gifted with this life thanks to this country. If you weren't in this country, you probably wouldn't have been born, kind of thing, right? Like, yeah, it's because of your parents, but your parents are in this country, they're protected by this country. So it's like the reason they're protected is because people who are born there protect the country, right? It's like it's the whole cycle of like protecting your territory. Like I get it, right? It makes sense, right? I don't think it's a bad thing to die for your country overall, right? Like patriotism, I think, is a good thing. Exactly, you have a duty to society and the benefit it provides. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree.
Member of the family who is not involved in the army. The head of the family, Marcus Crownguard, is currently an important official in DEMACIan Council together with his wife, Lilia.
Wait, whoa. Say it again.
The head of the family, Marcus Crownguard, is currently an important official in DEMACIan Council together with his wife, Lilia. They're two...
But it better be a different Lilia from Lilia in game. Lilia, the goat, there's no way she's like Garen's and Lux's mom, right? It's like the fucking goat is the mom.
Two children, Garen and Luxana, are not only proud soldiers of DEMACIA, they're both representatives of their nation in the League of Legends, making their whole nation proud
Bro, I still can't get over how bad Garen looked way back when. Before current graphics.
And securing its well-being through exceptional performance on the fields of justice. The actions of the family have been noticed by the king, Jarvan III. He did in fact appreciate Marcus's actions so much that the Crown Guard family's firstborn, Garen, was training together with the young prince, Jarvan IV, and they've been close friends since. Since his earliest years, Garen had been taught that his role as a soldier will not be easy, but with enough resolve and training he can overcome everything that the enemy can throw.
Dude, imagine Garen is actually like super fucking skinny, but like he's wearing this massive armor to compensate, but he's like the scrawniest little piece of shit.
Throw at him. There's no place for fear, pain, or resignation on the battlefield. Once you step onto the field, you cannot go back. You cannot drop your
I do love his sword though, the sword looks sick.
weapon and run away. You are to stand your ground no matter what the cost might be. It is a tough codex, but it's been accepted by civilians and soldiers alike. It does not only apply to the battlefields of war, but everyday life as well. Garen had listened to these lessons and accepted them into his heart. As the time of his training had
like I
passed,
said,
he was
brainwashing.
already repeating those rules to himself. And by that time, he left the academy and joined the army. Repeating those words was part of his daily routine.
Yeah, brainwashing, yeah.
He impressed his commanders with his own courage. While those words sound tough, they're not always lived up to. And why would they? It seems impossible for a man to feel no fear against impending death, but that was not a case with Garen.
Bro, there's way scarier things than death, man. If you go to battle and like I would say if you go to battle, death should be the least of your worries. Losing limbs, being captured and tortured for like years, I think that's way scarier than just dying. Like, fuck it, just kill me, bro. Like, just, like, don't torture me, just fucking end it.
The young man was so impressive both in his daily life and on the battlefield that the Demacian Council had given him the title Knight of Demacia. He is almost the example for every soldier and commander
I
in
don't
the ranks
remember
of
this
the
skin
military.
at all.
Those achievements not only earned him the respect from his fellow soldiers, it had also secured him position as Demacia's representative in the League when it was created. The fact that he saved the Prince Jarvan IV doesn't make him any less popular amongst the people of his homeland. Garen has fought in many battles during the war between Noxus and Demacia. Leading the dauntless vanguard, he has made his presence felt on every battlefield they have fought. He'd witnessed a bloodshed that could leave a mark on a young man's mind, but he seemed unaffected by it. Something did happen, however, that left a huge mark on Garen's life. He met Katarina, the Sinister Blade, leading her own troops on the opposite side under the banners of Noxus. Garen charged at her, hoping to strike the leader of the enemy force.
Bro, she's definitely trying to choke herself with her own tits with that top. Like, it's like pushing her chest into her fucking throat. Which is great to look at, but...
is down. What
Doesn't
later
sound very
happened
effective.
is still unclear. Soldiers who have been there claim that those two had faced against one another in a deadly dance, exchanging blows accompanied by a symphony of clashing blades.
Yeah.
They
Isn't Garen in love with Katarina? And that's why he also loves going to battle against Noxus to face Katarina, so because that's the only contact he would ever have with her. This guy is simping hard.
claim it was an extraordinary demonstration of training as well as natural potential. It was easy for neither side. Garen returned to the Demacian camp later that day exhausted and breathless. Members of the Dauntless Vanguard like to think it was for reasons other than battle exhaustion. Garen does not comment on those rumours, but it is a fact that he was looking for every opportunity to encounter the Sinister Blade time after time. Some think that those two meet in field way too often, almost like they knew where to look for themselves. Those two are so different that they paradoxically match one another perfectly. Garen doesn't admit to any feelings towards Katarina. For him, as a true warrior, she is a worthy opponent. Something that is not common for warriors like himself. For him, pursuit of this particular opponent, especially so beautiful, is a reason to rise each morning. Garen has advanced.
Rise each morning, buddy. It definitely rises each morning when he thinks of Katarina.
In the ranks of the military since the war against Noxus, not only as a soldier but as a champion in the League. Many observers speak highly of his skills on the fields of justice. Even those from
Only if Katarina is making love to Swain in front of him.
Noxus admit that Garen is a force to be reckoned with. He'd been nicknamed the Deadly Hurricane by many followers of the League due to his unique style of sword fighting.
Spinning.
Those less friendly towards Demacian ideals joked that perhaps Garen's city-state should change its call from Demacia now and forever to Demacia spin to win.
Yeah, basically.
Whatever the case, nobody can deny that Garen can be a force that can decide about victory of one side on the fields of justice.
Nah, he's just a split pusher at this point. Sometimes like ganks other lanes. Oh shit, why is Nocturne there? Look at it. Look at Nocturne. Look at this guy. Oh, you can't see him. Yeah, look at this little shit hiding. Trying to take Garen's spotlight.
Demacia had recently rewarded Garen for his achievements with his own training program, where he can teach soldiers varieties of tactics and strategies that he developed during battles that he fought.
It's even Talon is here too. Look at this chicken.
It also teaches about perseverance, courage, and how to decisively strike one's enemy. It has been named the Battle Regime for Ultimate Soldier Heroism. No matter how weird the name might sound, the idea of having more warriors like Garen himself is scary for many people, and rightfully so.
Lux. This piece of shit.
Luxana, or just Lux as she called by many due to her young age, is Garen's younger sister.
Due to her name being annoying to pronounce, so they just call her Lux.
When she was first born, her parents thought about the role of an official for her, as a fragile, fair-haired girl would not make a good addition on the battlefield. She was sent to a school to receive advanced education fitting a lady. Surprisingly, Lux was eager to follow in the footsteps of her big brother.
Surprise.
She joined the military academy at the young age of 13, and a few months later her trainers recognized the girl's magical talent.
Yeah, so it's definitely not canon at this point. Because, like, they would fucking kill her if they'd recognize she has talent for magic.
She was immediately redirected to be trained in the College of Magic, under the best mages of Demacia. At first, she was just able to play small tricks with light, make people see things that never did exist, or disappear in plain sight. As her training continued, she'd been developing more and more magic skills, but surprising everyone, the young girl had natural talent for copying spells that she'd just seen once. That had greatly helped with her training. Due to her ability to disappear even in the brightest place, she'd been signed to serve in Demacian's security brigade to help with infiltration missions of the military, and she quickly took part in several missions that made her renowned for her daring achievements. Amongst other things, she stole important intelligence from the Noxian High Command's chambers during Noxia's Ionian conflict. That has earned her favours with both Demacia and the Ionian government, but she decided that it wasn't the kind of work she wanted to do for her city-state. She wanted to fight for the good, just like her brother.
You're telling me stealing Noxus' fucking confidential documents is not fighting for the good of Demacia? She just wants to be in battle, basically. She wants to kill people. Fucking psychopath.
She's become a dangerous weapon for Demacia. No mage could stand against it, no matter what spell he could throw against her, and how powerful it would be. Lux could always...
She clearly didn't meet Kassadin yet. So, just saying.
Mimic it and throw it right back at the opponent. That made the government of Noxus afraid of throwing their mages at battlefields.
Can't copy what you
Just one girl could force one of Valoran's biggest forces to reconsider their strategy. She was a valuable asset, to say the least.
I don't know why she has a Nazi general skin. Like, this is like a Star Wars Imperial.
As Lux matured, she'd been taught about the importance of Demacian ideals. She's now almost completely devoted to fighting for the greater good like her older brother. They often fight alongside and they seem to understand each other well, even though Lux lacks experience that Garen has certainly gained through his years of service. Since Lux has been introduced into the League, those two have become closer. No one wants to meet those two working together.
Twist the tree line.
The combination of Luxana's extraordinary magic skills with Garen's might and courage can be problematic for anyone. Even an ancient being known as Bran was surprised by their cooperation during his first visit to Valoran. He was not the only one, though. Many before him have been surprised by how much power the fragile blonde wields. Her big brother following her around with his giant sword does not make matters any better. Well, that is all we have for you this time around. We've read all the comments that you've left in the comment section below and really take them under consideration. If you enjoyed this video in particular, you can express that by clicking the like button below.
What were the comments in the previous video? Garen returns exhausted and breathless. Members of the Dauntless Vanguard like to think it was for reasons other than battle exhaustion, so basically Garen and Katarina are late night FWBWs. Wait, what is FWBWs? Fuckboys? It likes the ability to copy spells. If this were in game, she would be way too OP. Yeah, basically. I mean, she's already with her fucking 18-second cooldown R that clears waves, gets champions to like 30% HP. It's like, honestly, sometimes I am baffled that you can even push a lane into Lux. Just like, she just R's waves. She just R's 2 waves in a row with her R. The way to play Diablo 1? Yeah, it's a what do you call it? It's an Explorer game now. You can just play it on like Google Chrome or like Opera or whatever. Yeah, you can just play it online. It's a web game now. I play Lux, you can do anything, yeah, basically. Alright, that is the video. We'll watch the next one coming up.